Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Gag Is podcast. I am your girl, Charlie Shante. Thank you for joining me on another Friday. Uh, Welcome back. Like, I'm super excited about today's episode because parents, these children are back in school. Yes, I thought, woo, I thought, I thought we was having an infinite summer because I was like, when did these children go back to school? Because when I tell you, it's been one of them summers. It's been one of them summers, so I'm back. The kids is back in school, and I got on my mom morning gear. My little hoodie or whatever. Throw a little hoodie action on. Because it ain't about the messenger; it's about the message. But these children are back in school, and I couldn't be more elated. So we're gonna dedicate this episode to the first week of school. So go ahead and get your snacks, get whatever you gonna have while you listen to this episode. So we can go ahead and jump on out there and get started. Um, yeah, so if y'all hear a little rumble in the back, it want to storm during my record time. So just it's Florida. Florida do what it want to do when it want to do and how it want to do it. So we ain't got no control over that. But oh my gosh, like back to school, like it is so crazy because me and New Face are in a new territory this year. Like Marco Polo has graduated college, so he's I don't have to worry about a back to school for him. New Face is back in school, but we have a new thing. We're not in middle school anymore. So he started high school this year, and he's in a program where he started high school and college on the same day. Like, how am I supposed to digest that? Like, okay, high school is one thing, but college too? Like, I thought I was, it's gonna be like high school, boom, 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 boom. Then it's like, okay, like my baby's going off to college now. But now it's kind of like, man, it's happening at the same time. So when he graduates high school, he'll have an associate's degree as well. So I mean, that's a very good accomplishment and thing, but it's kind of like, dang, so when he actually goes off to college, like am I still going to be like super emotional, like super sad because like he's gone, or is it going to be like, oh, okay, going off to college, but like you've already graduated college once, like now you're going off to college, so it's kind of like I have mixed feelings. I have some mixed feelings about that because I know when Marco Polo went off to college, his first day, I was a wreck. Like he went to school in New York, and like that's a 2.5 hour plane ride to get to my baby if I need to. And when I tell y'all, I bawled all the way to the train station the first time, and then when I went back the second time, I bawled all the way to the airport in the Uber. Your girl was a mess. So, since school has started, I want to let's talk about lunches. Let's talk about transportation, and let's talk about how we can better help our kids during the school year. So, as far as lunch and food go, most kids want Lunchables. Most kids want like a little ham and cheese sandwich, a little bag of chips, a little applesauce, fruit roll up snack, Capri Sun. Well, there's my kid. My kid think that I'm supposed to pack his lunch or I'm supposed to make food like he a construction worker. For the first day of school, he was like, "Can you pan sear me some fish with some rice and some cauliflower?" Sir, who construction job is you about to go on? Like, who construction site did you finna go on? Because last time I checked, I thought you were going to school. I ain't even gonna lie. It thundered real hard and it scared me and I jumped. So if you watching this on YouTube, you will see I said, I jumped. But bro, who construction site did you go on? The fact that you think that I'm finna get up, like you get on the bus at 7:30. What makes you think I'm finna get up and pan sear some fish for you? Like I can make the cauliflower and the the rice, or the potatoes, the baked potato or whatever. I can make all of that, like the night prior. Well, not more so the baked potato, but the cauliflower and rice, I can make that the night before. But for you to think that I'm finna get up, clean some fish, and season it up and pan sear it for you at 5 o'clock in the morning, it's crazy. Crazy. Like, bro, and like I don't know about y'all. Leave it down in the comments. I like my fish fresh. Like I don't like warmed up fish unless it's like salmon croquettes or something like that. But I don't like no pan seared fish that's warmed up. Like that's just me. But I'm like, bro, like what? Like I don't even take that kind of stuff for lunch. Like I have like little simple stuff, and you want dinner for lunch. You know what I'm saying? I understand breakfast for lunch or brunch or something like that. But you, boy, you done lost your daggone mind. Like you better get this crock pot chicken and this rice and this cauliflower and these green beans, and you better gone on somewhere. Now, I don't, I am not a chef. I am not Gordon Ramsay, bro. You you not finna get all that. That's no, you're not finna get all that. I bought bagels for breakfast. I go and get the pre-made bacon already. Sometimes I'll fry bacon fresh if I'm home or something like that. But like you have ready to go stuff, like you have cinnamon swirl bread, you have juice, like you have different stuff. So why are you expecting me to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and grill you some fish? Like I'm not finna do that. And then he was like, "Oh, mom, next week I want some roast." Bro, what? He's like, "I want some roast and some potatoes." Again, who job is you finna be on to where you need this type of food? Like, what? What happened to just eating cereal, toast, something quick and simple and easy in the morning? Like I don't understand why you need like a whole breakfast buffet spread. Like what? Like this is crazy. And I tell him, I'm like, you can eat you can eat breakfast at school. Like it's free. Like they have like mini pancakes and different stuff. And they be like, I know, but I like it when you cook breakfast. I like it when I cook breakfast too, but for the fact that you think that I'm finna get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning before I go to work and cook you this extravagant meal is like crazy. Like, I don't know where you. And then you want me to cook roast? So I mean, I gotta go get the roast. I gotta get some potatoes. I gotta get some carrots, some onions, and stuff like that, and like actually soak it and prep it and do all this stuff for you to have some lunch, like not even dinner, lunch. Because since you didn't ate it for lunch, you're not gonna want to eat it for dinner. So then you're gonna be expecting me to provide you with another meal outside of this because you feel like you can't eat the same thing twice in one day. No, not finna do that. Like you lucky I don't slap you with a lunchable, but I know that you're a growing boy and I want you to have nutritious food, and stuff like that. But let me comment down below, what do you do for your kids when it pertains to their breakfast and their lunch? um, like, are they outlandish? Are your kids pretty simple? Like, let me know. Also, let me know, do your kids take water bottles to school? Like, do they take water bottles, or do they have Stanley cups? Or tell me what do you do for their hydration? Do you send juice? Do you send soda? Do you just have a setup where the kids can go pick their own kind of stuff and kind of like build your own lunch? Tell me what tell me what your setup is in your home, when it comes to feeding your kids. And I know also, like, prime example, this morning, now it was storming outside, and I was like, okay, I'm like, if it's storming, I'm like, I'm not finna go get him no donuts and no juice. So he sent me $5 last night, and he's like, can you please get me some Dunkin' this morning. I was like, we'll see. So he gave me $5. So he thought that he's like, oh, if I just send her $5, she gonna get my usual anyway, and she just gonna cover the rest. No, not doing that today. He used to getting a large refresher and 3 donuts. Well, this morning I humbled him because within his constraints of his $5, he could only afford a small fresher with light ice, and he got 1 donut, and he only got 1 donut because I had a Dunkin' reward. So I used my reward on that because I don't really be eating the donuts like that. So he had to stay within his little budget constraints. So spent the whole $5 because I used that 60 cents as a delivery charge. Sure did. And he came and he's like, where's the rest of that? I'm like, the rest of what? I'm like, I had to work within your budget constraints. And I'm like, your budget only allowed you to get a refresher. But my nice kindred spirit allowed you to get a donut because I had a free reward for it. He looks so defeated. But you're not finna defeat my pockets. Okay. Like you gotta work within your constraints. It's stuff downstairs. Like you wasn't finna go hungry. I mean, no. And then I be trying to be nice and get the little stuff to make the little refresher or whatever so he can have one before school or take it in his little cup or whatever. But no, he like to sneak down in the middle of the night, make him refreshers and then it be gone. And then he don't have nothing for breakfast. And my rule is once I buy it, I know how long it's supposed to last. And if it don't last as long as it's supposed to last, guess who not finna go to the store and buy no more? Me. Once it's gone, it's gone. Cause you're not finna just sugar my pockets. You're not just finna drink my pockets down. That's not what you're not finna do that. No sirree, Bob. Mm-mm. Not finna do that. So moving right along because I'm getting worked up thinking about these outlandish food requests that he has. Because what? Pan seared fish for lunch? Bro, you no. But let's skirt right on along over to transportation. Luckily for me, transportation is provided. So he rides the bus, and actually, the bus has been pretty on time. Um, our school district has an app that allows you to track the bus, and you can go in there and set parameters. It tells you what time it picks up. Your student when it gets to the actual stop. It actually tells you what time it gets to the school, and then like it tells you like the in between the route that they're taking and different stuff like that. So I like that app, and I have the parameters set that it tells me when it's within, I believe it's within a mile of the bus stop. It sends me an alert like, hey, the bus is within these constraints, within your zones. So the bus will be pulling up to the stop momentarily. But the good thing about it is it circles like our little square area. So it's going to pass by the stop first, but it still triggers. So that lets me know, and it lets him know also, like, hey, the bus is getting ready to circle the loop. So you probably got about 5 to 10 minutes before you need to be to the bus stop, which is a good thing. And then in the afternoon, it's been pretty on time, which is a good thing, because last year, I mean, we had problems, the bus running an hour, 2 hours late. And the way New Face work, I'd be like, you want me to come get you? He'd be like, no, I'm gonna wait on the bus. And I'm like, okay, like, but you wait on the bus. When you get to this house, like, the rules is still in play, Playboy. Like, um I haven't I've noticed an uptick in traffic in the mornings, but it hasn't been too bad, and I haven't had to deviate too much from the time I leave to go to work, which is a good thing, which lets me know that you parents out there that take your kids to school have done your due diligence and you are starting to be on time. Y'all are not out here rushing. Y'all are not out here zooming, skirting, um, and just causing chaos and creating havoc. And I greatly appreciate that because y'all don't need to be out here Christian and crashing at 7 o'clock in the morning. I greatly appreciate it. I have yet to pick the boy up from school. I don't know. I guess he's too cool to be picked up from school. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Um, I don't, I don't know. Mm, don't matter to me because I don't want to go up there and get caught up in the traffic anyway. So I mean, that's that's cool. I mean, I don't, I don't know. So my last thing that I want to discuss with y'all, forgive me because my timer is messing up, and so I just got to pull it down real quick and put it right here. Um, so when it comes to being, we're starting the school year off fresh, right? So as a parent, there are just some housekeeping things that I like to do to make sure he stays on track, and I, as a parent, I help him stay on track. And I just want to share a little of those thoughts and pieces of advice with you. Um, every school district is different, so some of the things that I say may not necessarily pertain exactly to you and your child. However, I have friends who have kids all over the country, so I'm pretty familiar. It's the same concept, different program. I guess we'll say that. I know we've been previously using Canvas, but now I think there's this thing called Parent View or something like that that they use. And so, but like Parent View talks about the absences and different stuff like that, and Canvas is more so for grades. They said they're supposed to talk and interact, but I haven't seen it yet. I haven't went around and played around enough in parent view to know. So I really don't know. I guess it can be a good thing to tell you if your child been tardy or if they skipped a class or something like that. And I guess it's a good thing, but I'm one of those parents. I'm more focused on, well, I'm focused on if he's making it to class on time, but I'm more focused on grades, turning in assignments. So even though it's the first week, I've already gone in there, and because I know I used to be a teacher, so I know that sometimes there's forms that need to be signed and different stuff like that. Parents, make sure you're signing those forms. Make sure you are sitting down and actually reading those forms. Make sure if it's a form that your student has to sign, make sure you're reading and having them understanding what they're signing, because later on down the line, many times I've seen parents sign stuff and they send it back, and then later on down the road something pops up, the kid gets in trouble or something like that, and the parents be like, oh well, I didn't know. Well, it's kind of like, okay ma'am, but you signed this paper stating that you acknowledge and you understand. Well, I ain't know what I was signing. Okay, well, do you just always like not read what you sign and you just sign because they say sign here? Like, make sure you're actually signing the papers and reading the papers. I know LJ brought home a packet the first day and it had 20 pages in it, and it wasn't all stuff that needed to be signed. It was just stuff that was just like information about dress code, about sports, about eligibility. In Florida, they have crazy book bans. And so it was talking about the banned books. And then there was one that was talking about the books that they're going to read this year that have like sexual content and different stuff like that. So I made sure that I went over that with him to let him know, like, hey, these are the books that y'all going to be reading. But with him, I don't have to worry about stuff like that because he's pretty on point with what it is that he's reading and different stuff like that. Let's see what else we got. So with Canvas, I just make sure I go in there because like you can get points for turning in those forms and stuff. So I'm like, I always want to make sure, even if it's like extra points or bonus points or stuff like that, I always make sure that he's taking advantage of that, because every little point helps, because you may have a test that you don't do good on, but you turned into this form in the beginning, so it'll give you 5 extra points, on the lowest test grade, or it could be 5 extra points on the end of your grade. You never know. So parents, make sure that when your kids are bringing home papers and stuff like that, you're actually reading the papers and you're actually signing the papers, because they're very beneficial. The second thing that I do is I always make sure I debrief his day. I always make sure that I debrief his day to see how his day went, to see if he has any homework, to see what kind of homework that he has, to always offer my assistance. That's the first thing that I do when he gets home. I let him, like, if you want to get a snack or you want to relax, I allow him a 30-minute break once he gets home, just to kind of unwind. And it's just like work, like you've been at school all day, so I allow you the opportunity to unwind, get your snack or whatever, and then if you have any homework, we're going to jump into this homework. I always make myself available to him, so I'll not do some stuff that I do when I normally get off from work, just so I can make sure that he has my undivided attention and he has my full attention when he gets home from school. He used to get home later than me last year, so I could do stuff in the house before he got home. Now we get home at the same time, and so I just go straight from into work, from leaving work, coming home to assisting him. I do a weekly grade check just to ensure, if I see like something was due yesterday or whatever, I'm ensuring like, hey, where is this? Have you turned it in? Do you need help with this? Like, is there something you're not understanding? I try to understand why something isn't turned in. He'll let me know, hey, this is something that we had to directly give to the teacher. Most of his stuff is uploaded on Canvas or the college portal, but some stuff he does have to do and turn in to the teacher as a physical copy. So I just try to make sure I stay on top of that, just so he doesn't get behind, because it's easier to catch one or two assignments versus you waiting for the mid 9 weeks report, and then you go and check your child's grades and you see they are missing 15 assignments. It's easier for a kid to catch up on one assignment than it is to catch up on 15 assignments, because then you have defeat setting in and you're like, I'm never going to accomplish this. You're not going to get your child's full potential when it comes to completing assignments. The information may not be as fresh on their brain, and then they have to dig for it, and discouragement. They're less likely, if it's a worksheet, they're less likely to have that worksheet still. And a lot of times teachers make the number of worksheets that they need and they don't make any more. And so then they may have lost the opportunity to complete that work all together. Um, Another tip is I make sure that I'm not too hard. A lot of kids are not academics, but they also have probably like 1 in 3 kids has a after school activity or something extracurricular that they work with, whether it be sports, whether it be a club or different stuff like that. I know he told me that this week they're coming around. Is it today? I think today they're coming around to talk about the different clubs and stuff like that. And I'm just like, damn, I'm like, you already do swim. That take up 4 days out the week, and then you have a personal trainer on Saturdays, and now you're talking about adding a club into the mix. Like, when am I gonna sleep? You gonna find a way, but when am I gonna sleep? Because it sounds like I'm gonna be doing a lot of ripping and running around here. But it's okay. That just lets me know that I have to find the balance to be able for him to do these activities, as long as they are not taken away from his sleep, they're not taken away from his homework, and they're not taken away from his mental well-being. So whatever New Face trying to do, we're gonna see what it do, and then I have help. Marco Polo can come through in the clutch sometime when he ain't working, his work schedule allows. So I'm grateful to have that. Parents, just make sure you're staying active. If the teacher reaches out to you, please be courteous to them, because when kids are in school, it takes a team, and the teacher sees your child more 10 months out the year, and kind of knows and understands patterns. And we're not calling, as a former teacher, we're not calling because we want to tell your child in trouble. We want to call to get your help with your child, because your child may not be doing good in certain areas or something like that. And so we may be calling with the resources. So please, parents, make sure you are being kind and courteous to the teachers. That's not to say let the teachers just be any kind of way, but be kind and courteous and work with your teachers, because in the long run, It only affects your student. You don't want to be that parent at the end of the school year going, well, what can I do to help my child? Well, Miss Smith, when I was trying to contact you on day 10 to tell you that little Juju was having issues, you didn't want to hear all that. You told me that that was my problem. But now it seems that my problem has turned into your problem, and little Juju gonna have to repeat this class because you wasn't trying to help me when little Juju needed help. There's nothing that I can do about that now. Little Juju gonna get his F, and little Juju can either repeat this next year, or little Juju can take this online, or little Juju can go to summer school. Yo pick. Okay. Next time Miss Smith call, talk about little Juju, I suggest you answer the phone so little Juju get the best help that he or she may need. Okay. That's what I need y'all to do. Um, a quote that I always say, and it holds true, is reading is fundamental. A statistic came out the other day that said that most kids in middle school can't read above a third, fourth grade level. And that is super sad. That is super sad because they can read TikTok, they can read all these social medias, but you mean to tell me they can't read a chapter book? Like they can only read books that got pictures in it? Like that's unacceptable. Like you should not be in high school still if you don't have a medical disability of some sort that hinders you from learning. You cannot be out here and be a gangbanger and be a thug and can't read, okay? Because you look real stupid. You look real dumb. 10, 30 minutes a day. Kids spend more time on that on social media. I always make sure New Face read it. And I have a thing. If we're going somewhere, he's not allowed to use his phone or his iPad in the car. He has to bring a book. And when you think about it, when you go somewhere, you're in the car one way, maybe 20, 30 minutes. Boom, knock the reading out just like that. And with New Face, he can read a book a week. Like I like to read. Like behind me is my bookcase, and I probably have like 20 books that I have to read. I just finished reading a book last week. I started another book this week. Um, reading is fundamental. Reading is very fundamental, and I wish they would bring back the thing that if you don't pass eighth grade reading, you can't get your driver's license until you're 18. Because if you can't read, I don't need you out here on the streets because you probably can't read these signs that's out here. And now you running into people and all this other kind of stuff. Like that's just dangerous. So parents, if you don't take away anything else that I've said, please sit down and read with your child or encourage your child to read. There are many resources online to help your child. There are many in-person resources to help your child. There's after school stuff, there's weekend stuff, there's follow along stuff that you can do. Books are free. I know where we live, you can take your child's lunch number and you can go to the public library and they're able to check out 3 books, I believe. You're able to set the permissions on there so that they can only get certain type of books. If you don't want them to have like adult romance novels and stuff like that, you can set those permissions. But parents, we have got to step up and make sure that we are assisting our children the best way we know how. Yes, I know it is very tiring. I know, I get it, but we have to support our children because the children are the future. You want to set them up for success. Okay. We can have all these hoop dreams of playing basketball, football, and whatever else, but your child sustained. There's too many instances where children sustain injuries and their sports career is over, and they don't have an education to fall back on. And I want to, and I always make sure if not Marco Polo, if New Face was to unfortunately, God forbid, ever sustain an injury, I at least want him to know that he has his education to fall back on. All right. So now you can't make this up. It's first week of school, y'all, and these children right here talking about some they got girlfriends already, and I'm like, bro, we not finna do. And I said, New Face. I said, what drew you into Miss Ma'am? And he's like, well, we realize we have a lot of common, and then we realize we have 4 classes together. So that make y'all compatible? Because y'all got 4 classes together? I said, look here. I said, I need for you to focus on these books, and it, I can't even tell y'all what, cause somebody gonna take offense. But I told them bitches can wait. Books before bitches, okay? I just said it to her like that because if you know me, then you know I keep it real with my kids. Books before bitches. That's sweet. But that's not to call the kids bitches. You see, that's why I didn't want to say that because now somebody gonna take it out of context. Like, oh my gosh, she's calling the little girls bitches. No, it's just figure of speech. But you would know that if you paid attention and you read and ELA. If you mind your business. Yeah. Um. And you know, I told him, girls will come. There's a time and a place for the girls. I think it's cute, that that um that you got this little um that you got this cute little girl, whatever. He's sending me pictures and stuff from the pep rally. He's like, we had a pep rally, and I'm just like, all right, cool. All right, well, we have come to the end of the show, and y'all know what that means when we come to the end of the show. It's time for me to give y'all the song lyric of the week. So for this week, we're gonna keep it nice, blessed, and kosher. We're gonna keep it very demure. Okay. Oh my God, I wish that word would go to. I wish that word would go away. Tell who. Let's loop it back real quick. Demure. It lets me know who didn't have vocabulary words and who didn't have spelling words. Okay, that's where I'm at with that word. Demure. Okay, y'all get a new word and y'all finna run it in the ground. Lord, have mercy. So my song lyric of the week, because we are starting off a new school year, is Grateful by DJ Khaled and Vori. I think I'm saying it correctly. um Grateful, because I'm grateful that we have made it to another school year. I'm grateful that all the babies are back in school. Love the first day of school, first week of school pics. So yeah, so parents, keep up the work. Make sure you are staying on top of your kids' education, staying on top of their work, staying on top of their grades, and just being the best parent that you can be for your kids. Until next time, if you have not already, please make sure you are hitting the notification button on YouTube so that every time a new episode is uploaded, you are getting that. Please follow us on Instagram at the gag is pod, or you can follow my personal page at smartfit_okie on Instagram as well. And last but not least, on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast from. Make sure you become a subscriber, you become a follower, so that every time a new episode is uploaded, you are getting that notification and it automatically downloads for you. All right. So until next week, I am your girl, Charlie Shantae. This is the Gag Is Podcast. Bye, guys.